Hello guys, it's been a long since I made some coding video and I was trying to make few yesterday and before, but I deleted them and maybe I'll try again now that I'm probably more ready because I wanted to make a series of videos where I'm trying to port certain things to 3DO because I was busy for the past month with this project for a DOS in a DOS game jam, and this is the game jam. VGA and the adlib. Make a game with using a VGA and playing something from adlib, whether it's music or sound effects. We had various submissions, 7 of them, and I was doing this top-down pseudo 3D, actually real 3D. It uses flat shaded polygons. My software renderer on those, and because it's top down and there is no rotation, just scrolling orthoparallax with different levels of depth, it was easier to optimize certain things to kinda run okay on 386. And I thought this would be a good project to try to also port on 3DO, because on 3DO the CPU of 3DO could be close to the 386, but on 3DO I can use the cell hardware to render quads. I could even do more than flat shaded. I could do texture mapped, top-down texture mapped. Could even do a GTA city if I wanted. I guess depends. But it's gonna take away a lot of things uh, that are taking time from the CPU in this one. So if this could run on 386, on this 386 I could get, when I'm zoomed in I could get even 40 frames. When I'm a bit zoom out, it would be 30, 25, 20. And on a mid 486 it was mostly smooth, unless you went to the top down view where you can see everything. And that's what I thought. That I started a few days ago, I started making some videos where I decided that since the project is C++, it would be a good time to change to start using this SDK. I was using the old SDK, the C. So I was using the ARM251 and 3DO dev, some very old files only for C programming, and I installed the 3DO dev kit. But it took me at least 2 videos to where I was figuring out things for an hour, and I couldn't even build something till I understand what's going on. And initially I thought, yeah, maybe I will upload these videos, but because educationally it could be interesting. But then I thought it could be the most boring videos. So sometimes I realize I have to take the liberty, and if it's a bit hard because you have done something. If I make something like my very long boring videos, I could just delete them and start again. Or of course now I'm not starting because I have installed the basic stuff. By the way, this is how the game is. You have this top-down parallax flat shaded polygons. This you are gonna see. Maybe we catch it. You might see ad-lib music and the enemies. It would be interesting to port not just the game but the engine and make other games with it. We could even raise the layer size and make them longer. I already played with parameters after the jam, and I could add way more things on the screen. I could change the perspective so that the buildings are very tall and you have greater depth. I have parameters to add more layers, from 4 to add 6, 8 or more, and it's really stable. So anyway, this was the one. There are some good instructions, and I've seen how you can install, run some batch files to bootstrap a project. There is the default project here, where if you set up the environment, you can just build it. It's very verbose here. And I had some troubles because with my own project, there was issues with floating point stuff. Even though it's not like I'm not using floating point stuff in the main game. I might use to initialize certain values, things like that. You can avoid them, but I know it's gonna be very slow unless you initialize your sign table. Although the 3DO has a fixed point signs, which I should better use, but my those game might be doing some stuff. And then I went here and I just added some float sign and multiplication with float and stuff. And initially, let me see what I did. I don't have the initial make files. Yeah, okay, initially, oh god, not everything was here. And I will get this error, and those are functions from the math library that are missing. And I realized one way, because I also tried to build with my own makefile from the other project, and that worked. And I'm like, what options were making it not build? And now I cannot see them. The no scan lib, I don't know if it's good to remove that. Ah, it still fails. It used to not fail when I remove the no scan lib. I don't know why it fails now. It used to not fail and it used to find another library somewhere. And this libm is something trapexit gave to me. Why is this now? This is the thing I removed to make things work. But now it fails. File armlib32b not found. Anyway, to cut the story short, because now this is getting big, that is here now. Why can you not find it now? So this one, if you set for this fdiv thing, fmul, and so on, those libraries have them. It is curious that yesterday, see, this is why I'm making these streams, but I try to explain too much, and then I try things on the spot. Those things yesterday, they work. I could explain it in 10 seconds, and now I will be searching for 5 minutes. So there are some special libraries. I need to be here because I'm afraid it will still fail for some reason. At least it built now. And So previously, if you remove this no lib, it will search. It will search for some more libs inside. I don't know why it doesn't search today. But now it doesn't work. Did it build the ISO? So it's like I test things yesterday, and now the thing is we are not even gonna use this project. I just wanted to show you something, and that something suddenly doesn't work when I'm streaming. I don't understand it, and now this is gonna be bigger. I'm thinking to leave it like as it is, so that you show that you are planning one day. You are saying, okay, I'm gonna show you this, this, and this is gonna take me 2 minutes, and then something unexpected happen when you stream, and okay, should I delete this video now and try again? I must have changed things in the... So why would it not find that today? I think I know. I was doing a lot of weird stuff while you're trying to figure out things and you delete stuff. There. At some point I say, why didn't fail? Because I didn't. Now this is gone. Unfortunately, this is the old stuff. This barm, it used to be arm, but this is not good because this is looking here, and here it's not anymore. If I build something from here, it's gonna interfere with this one, unfortunately. Now it did interfere in a way. I'm pretty sure that's it. And I might have to close everything because the environment variables might not. So something that shouldn't interfere yesterday happened to make things work, maybe, but for the wrong reasons. So yesterday that didn't exist, that didn't exist. Where is? I don't remember the flag. I'm missing even the flags. So there was this no, I don't remember it now. I cannot return back. So when I remove this flag that says don't search, don't scan lib, no scan lib, it, yeah, it just found the floating point function, which this is what might happen, but maybe it found more stuff, so I don't know. Why isn't that running? Finally. But this is not supposed to happen. Now, this is messed up because I added the sine cosine to the rotation, so that's normal. I wanted to see that something happens. Much later, after I figured out everything, I realized something else. I realized in my other project that these are especially the arm lib, which are pointing to the oldest decay. Get that, oldest decay. This one maybe no scan lib. Maybe this no scan lib says search for that path. Search for arm lib. And maybe arming also, I don't know. Because in my old project, when I remove this arm lib, when I make it barm lib so that it cannot find, it also failed with the floating point. So, but you cannot find this directive this macro arm lib, this the variable name, you cannot find it in the make file somewhere, and I think it's invisible. I think the ARM compiler, but also this one is using the same compiler, maybe a later version. But the Linux uses a later version, the Windows uses maybe the same. This compiler might, I don't know, you might not find it like that. Now it says ARM link DLL. Okay, somewhere something invisible happens, and you have to be careful. If you use the old SDK, if you use this and this, which it came from a very old tutorial. Sorry, I need to say maybe this is helpful if you got stuck. And a long time ago in this tutorial that I never. Yeah, maybe I will update my tutorials also. What the hell? Sorry. What happened? Yeah, and a long time I saw go download this. This is a very old tutorial I found, but now we might have to migrate to the new one, and I have migrated. But the thing is, if you happen to have the old one in your system, and maybe your environment variables are still defining those for the old one, it could be a problem because it might interfere with the new one. The new one is this one, of course. These are added to the path for the new one. I used to have been to the old one. I used to have one that points here. It's such a mess. So if you ever have problems with building with the new SDK or the old SDK, there's gonna be conflicts. Now, I think a lot of the old I might just delete them. We don't need them anymore. A lot of my old projects, I don't know, bench test. In the make file, I also say, okay, arm dev. I don't have arm lib, do I? I have arm lib, see. Arm dev was that. So I didn't need to put this in my path. You could put it locally in your make file. So if I build it, it's using the old. So I can still build stuff, can I? So I didn't broke things. Okay, maybe I had a bug there. Because I don't want to break my old projects. Those were warnings. I want that the old projects I am able to build with till I migrate. So here's the thing. Anyway, I'm gonna keep that because maybe it's time to do this. Maybe it's time to not delete every one of my. But the problem is that no, it's not that. I know Trapexis will fix it. He passed me the math library. He's still working on it. He's gonna fix it. Alternatively, here is what happens. This one, it has. No, it is on include. In lib, what am I saying? 3DO. We still see arm lib. different versions. I'm not. There is the CPP one, but now I understand. Only right now I understand that I was looking. Even if I have the lib3do on, so I don't know. Ah, no. I know. It was looking here instead and found the arm lib 32 be there is L. This might be little endian and big endian. L might be little endian and B might be big endian. I'm not sure. 16. This is thumb 16-bit. Big and little endian. So it would probably find this one. Then there is the CN. There are different versions there, but it would find the arm lib. I know now. I know now. I used to have the environment variables, and they were searching the old libraries. And I thought it was getting the libraries from here when I removed the no scan lib. This no scan lib. I guess this no scan lib says invisible. You don't even see it. Search like this. The ARM-CC compiler says somewhere arm lib is defined. This is where I want you to get it, and maybe also arm inc. So technically, if I say arm lib equals ba 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 libs 3do whatever was the path, then that would work. So I think now I get it. So this is a special. So it's like this ARM-CC independent, because we have other paths. It's just the lib. It's not the lib 3do. Yeah, but now here we have 3do. Probably if we also add the lib 3do, it might find it. It might search there too. But you had the arm lib define. That is a bit invisible. You don't know that behind the scenes the ARM-C compiler will also search there if you have defined it on your system. And it was looking at the old one. And I didn't know. I thought it was finding things from here. But no. Now we know. Anyway, I'm gonna try to progress here, and maybe I'll upload this video because it's still good as an introductory video to explain these things, to explain the strategy, because these are things you start developing, you see something that works and it doesn't work for you, and you're pulling your hair, especially with jumping from one SDK to another. I find writing algorithms and programming, doing the things that most people are afraid. You know, I find them more easy than setting up things. And if it doesn't work, it's not something somewhere happened. It's not like your logic is wrong, your algorithm is wrong, whatever. Anyway, so let's go back. A few days ago, I created this repository. Actually, I created this PortAtank, but I moved this. Yeah, this is gonna be my empty one, and I will not make changes to that one except for basic things, because I took experiments which I have a lot of helper functions, but I also have all my 3D engine here on the experiment. But because I'm not going to use the same 3D engine, I'm not going to use procedural generate image or anything. If I want to start a new project and I want to start clean, I need very few. I need some shell helpers, some very basic shell. I kept the shell packer, maybe not necessary. The core that setups, input math utils. So I scrapped this project and created the empty one. It has fewer. I kept the sprite engine. The sprite engine is fun. It's simple and fun. So, to minify, and I just made something which now this make file is not. I started with this make file. This is the make file from the bootstrap. If you want to start a new project with the 3D dev, it is helpful. Sure, you can run the bootstrap. You can. Maybe I'll show you very briefly. I copy it here. I run it, and it's doing stuff. And now I have the default example. However, it has all these files. These are all the examples, so you might have to clean up. It has files you don't need. You might need only the system, for example. If you want to build something on your own, you might have to take it and clean it. And now you can also build that. So this is good if you start a new one. Because it's copied my thing. Anyway, you get it. Now I have changed. It's gonna copy the things here, the source examples, and I have changed them, so it messed things up. But because it has this big make file, and it's fine, it might be a helpful make file. I was trying to read and understand some stuff. There is an explanation about some flags, but not all of them. Many different things you can build. I spend more time trying, maybe I can edit it to fit it to my own. But at the end I said, yeah, I'm wasting time again. The only thing I want is the ARM CPP and the new CPP lib. So I think we have the community stuff, the CPP lib. I'm gonna see what those are. This is all I need because I want to build some C++ project. Also, the motivation, this one is written in C++ and not C, and I could convert it to C, but I say, and I have a lot of projects in C++ where I prefer C++, but only for very basic things. I don't prefer the more advanced stuff from C++. Just some helper. I might have some operators and some vector, and it's not even a class; it's a struct. And I like to not have to define my arguments at the beginning of the scope all the time, things like that. And some of my retro stuff I just go with C++. So I thought, why not make it possible to build? Anyway, I'm going too late. It's okay. So I created the empty. Yeah, I was talking about that. The project, my own make file. I just replaced the dev with the TDO dev kit blah 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 and did some added the CPP stuff. Now the C flags are still my own and I haven't used the new flags for I might do that too. Where is libm? Where is libm? Why don't I have libm? Is this gonna build? It's building though. Do I have a... Oh, I have armlib. Oh, and armlib now looks at 3DO. I see. I see. See, I have armlib here, but the lib path is in the new. This is the new SDK path. So that's quite fine. However, you know, I finished that yesterday, and then I was talking with Trapexit, and he gave me the lib files. The math lib. I can add it too. Maybe add it here. Ah, community comes later, okay. So let me see technically if I comment this out, is it gonna build now? Okay, good. I want to add it a bit. Change make file to include lib comment out. No, do not conflict. I mean, it doesn't conflict. It points to the new dev hit, however. It could be better if you manually select the things you want. And now I change the make file. Now let's go. Here I have exactly the same, because in PortAtank I might try to start porting this one, and I don't think I will finish today. All I want to do is copy the same make file. So here's the thing. These are some common files with my shell helpers, the core where I set up things. And I made something very simple, like a dummy empty project. And also I have, this is the thing I was using from my newer project. Core init, core run. Where I can select some setting. It's the same setup. And now I say if project 3DO is main, else is main 3DO. Because I also made this whole empty thing so that I have Windows version. I have my, as much as possible, shell render emulation of some functions. I converted C to CPP so that I can, although maybe not necessary, but the naming, the mangling naming, I don't know, from C to CPP, I had to do some things, so I prefer to make it CPP. However, this one might not, reflect. It might not reflect this necessary. If there are some changes, it reflects the old dev, because there was some things I have to change, like noun types. I added this from the new one. If it's C++, then if it's not C++, then boolean bool. And I also noticed I used the boolean capital, because the original 3DO dev it has the big B, but that changed in this one. Is it's having Actually, you have types. Now the letters are a bit small. I should have. I forgot to do this. Everything is gonna. Okay, that's much better. So the new 3DO, this types, is still small, and it includes all this. And it has the lowercase boolean. And that also had conflicts with my old code. So for now I included it both, and I just used that. Now the thing is, because what I was trying to do in this emulation of the, and this is incomplete, this is only to help me port things on PC. I was trying to make things as same as possible to that one. So if you looked at cell utils now, some stuff I'm trying to have the same types, the same defined macros, but I only copied. I didn't do all the work. I copied and everything goes. So maybe if I continue this PC port core thing, and what is this? What is this is that I can build for 3DO, but I can also build for PC. So oh no. Oh, I know, no, no, close, 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 close. Don't. Maybe don't open this one because maybe I didn't update. So, here I'm building the 3DO project. You see there are less messages and it's using the 3DO dev kit master. I made it to not be verbose for now, even though it might help. I'm not using, there is a distinction, I'm gonna work for this later. We might be using this instead of, for compatibility with some old libraries that are built with this. Now, I think this and especially this might degrade a bit the performance, and I tried some other thing. Maybe I try this option in Optidum. Now, there is a very small degradation, but there is there, so I I might add it later. So now we build it, and I have my old run 4DO thing, but I also have the run retroads, which is running the run isobad from the SDK, from the SDK. There is a special batch. I had to set up retroads. I spent more time, download the ROMs and so on. So I made just some example, and now without vsync, and you press something to center it. With the sport background, it has vsync. I can disable the vsync. So I tried to make something very simple. And I kept this PC emulation, not exactly emulation, so that I'm able to work on this project also on Visual Studio so that I can easily debug things. If things go wrong and it's very hard to debug on 3DO. And this is the thing I ported from my previous example, but now every file is CPP and I changed the thing with the booleans. So now this is complete. Every time I want to port something, now the PortAtank is where I'm going to try to port the current, but I kept also the repository 3DO core empty. I'm not gonna change that except from, I'm gonna keep the simple project here, the empty dummy project, but here I'm going to port the thing. And maybe I'll continue. Okay, maybe this is about talking about the setup process and the problems I have. And that's the third time I do this video, and I'm going to delete it. I'm going to not delete it this time, sorry. I think I'm gonna upload it now, and I could continue with the port, but maybe I'll make a video number 1, and this is PortAtank 0. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.